Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name is Dave Burney.
I'm Jeremy Scheib. Good morning.
Are you up, dude?
I am.
Okay.
I'm pre-reading the trivia.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, we're Bambian, right? It's Bambi.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused by the question. I might have to skip one. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just not reading right this morning or what, but I don't know.
Well, Bambi is complicated. I mean, there's a lot of messages in Bambi.
Yes, there are. Yeah, it's a very deep movie. And a movie, when you reach your adult life, you really have to be in the right mood to want to watch.
Bambi?
It's sad.
It is sad. And it brings back memories when you were a little one and you saw it for the first time. And it probably made you feel bad.
And Bambi's got nothing on, you know, the movie The Fox and the Hound?
Yeah.
That one's sad.
That's sad, too. Old Yeller's the worst.
No way will I ever watch that. I've never seen it. Everyone always tells me how sad it is. I don't really want to go out of my way to watch a sad movie. Same with Marley and Me. Have you ever seen that?
I'm not sure. Marley and Me.
Along those same lines.
Okay.
Sad movie involving an animal.
Well, we're going to do our best to depress you out there, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have a Bambi question for you. I know a lot of you it doesn't bother anymore, but there's probably some deep scars there somewhere.
It's a good movie. I didn't know you guys were talking about there's a Bambi 2.
Yeah, which we didn't know either. And it's like...
They snuck that right past me.
It wasn't that long ago, in the 2000s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it really...
Must have been a blockbuster.
I don't think maybe it really hit the market like they thought maybe it might. So we got a good show lined up for you today. We're going to be visiting with Clang Financial today. And Ellen Mortenson's coming in to talk about an event this weekend in Gothenburg featuring many Christian artists that are very well known. So we're going to learn more about that this morning. And we're going to visit with Matt with Subway. And Farmers National will be our guest here in the first portion of the show. Plus, we have a few other things we want to tell you about this morning that are of interest and are coming up as far as events go. So keep your dial set right where it's at. School lunch menus. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Most
we have to
schools
be back to that.
Yeah, most schools are underway. Today at Ansley, they're having chicken sandwiches, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
At Anselmo Myrna, made fresh cheeseburger, macaroni skillet with garlic breadstick, popcorn chicken with garlic breadstick, or fresh baked ham and cheese sub.
Broken Bow Middle School and High School today on this Thursday. Their first day of school, they say it's the best day ever, and I'm sure there's some debate over that. But today they're having hot dogs and cheeseburgers and fresh baked ham and cheese subs, cottage cheese and fruit platter, vegetables, fruit, and milk.
At Arnold today, pulled pork on a bun.
Cozad today, the fresh market items they have, including the fresh picks with all their garden items, corn and all sorts of good things from their garden, mixed greens, watermelon salad. Their main dish is the chicken patty spicy chicken, and they have a hot dog station today. They also offer peanut butter and jelly with yogurt and much more at Cozad.
At Litchfield, it's pulled pork sandwiches as well.
And at Thedford today, it's Parmesan ranch chicken, mashed potatoes along with that.
Okay, and for, let's see, Sumner Eddyville Miller, popcorn chicken today. Let's see, I've got a whole packet here. At Callaway today, walking tacos. And then we always like to inform you about what's happening at the Prairie Pioneer Center. Today, roast beef, mashed potatoes, carrots, strawberries, a dinner roll, chocolate cake, and a birthday dinner as well.
All right, very good. Birthdays. Let's take a look and see the local birthdays include Dwayne Lemcooler over in Arnold is celebrating a birthday today. Rich Andre, he is celebrating a birthday over in North Platte, originally from Arnold. And let's see, Kelly Arnold celebrating a birthday today. And one of our favorites around town, Ann Holcomb, is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Ann. And last but not least, Connie Adams is celebrating a birthday today. She ramrods Bill. That's what she does. It's a full-time job.
Yes, yeah, got to keep him under her thumb.
That poor lady. Happy birthday, Connie Adams. And celebrate in style. I know you will. Have a good time. You're celebrating. If you're having a birthday today, you're celebrating with Robert Redford.
Huh?
Now, he's getting up in years. He's 86 today.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still a heartthrob or not, but in his acting career, he was known as, very much so attractive to the ladies. He did more directing than acting at the end of his career, and I guess it's still going, actually. Movies like The Way We Were, The Sting, All the President's Men, won an Oscar for directing Ordinary People. So he's been very successful. Christian Slater is 53 today. Been in things like True Romance and Mr. Robot and The Edge of the Night. So those are some stars that are celebrating birthdays today. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. The game. Today we have a Subway sandwich, and you skip whatever you need to skip there, my friend.
Yeah, I just don't know if my brain is comprehending how to read it to do it right. So we're just going to skip down to the last one. Continuing to talk about Bambi. 80 years, huh?
Yes.
Holy smokes. 1942 is when Bambi came out. So here's your question for that 6-inch Subway gift certificate. In the movie, Bambi wakes up one night to the smell of what? Is it skunks, pine needles, rain, or smoke? What does Bambi wake up one night to the smell of? Skunks, pine needles, rain, or smoke? If you know, give us a call, 872-2801.
There's a difference between treating the pain and treating the problem. At Pearson Physical Therapy, we strive to not only reduce your pain, but actually treat the underlying cause so that you remain pain-free, even after you finish physical therapy. If you're frustrated by pain that keeps coming back, Pearson Physical Therapy can give you the tools that will keep you moving pain-free. Call Pearson's in Broken Bow at 308-872-5800 or check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
At the Callaway Good Life Center, their hometown facility offers the security and comfort of a small town with the advantages of city living. They offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy for their residents. Visit CallawayGoodLife.com for more information.
All right, we have Asher on the line. Good morning, Asher. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good. Going to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot.
Oh, don't say that. It's Bambi.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Did you set that one up, or did you come up with it on the fly?
It just happened.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Asher. In the movie, what does Bambi wake up one night to the smell of? Was it skunks, pine needles, rain, or smoke?
Smoke.
Smoke is right. Perfect. Asher, you've won yourself a free 6-inch sub at Subway. If you want to swing by or have someone come and pick this up, you'll enjoy a meal on us.
Well, I'll have my wife pick it up.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Asher.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
7:39. I know that you follow professional basketball fairly closely. You're a Boston fan, I believe, Celtics fan. What do you think about the big contract for LeBron? That's been all over the news this morning.
I give him a lot of credit. You know, he signed that 2-year contract, which has a player option in the last year of it that, is like eclipses $50 million. He's going to be 40 years old next year. and he's still easily a top 10 player in the league at that age. I think that's amazing.
I think he's proven himself over and over again, and his son is being looked at now and playing. Is it possible that he and his son might play
That's what
on the
everyone's-
court together?
That's what everyone's talking about. They are hoping that he'll be able to stick around long enough that his son will be a significant enough player that he'll maybe be able to suit up for the same team, which is always a possibility, or a different team and play against his dad. That'd be really interesting, and probably that's something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't think so either. If it happened, it probably happened at a level that nobody really noticed it in the pro level, but
Well,
this will be
LeBron-
high profile.
LeBron was one of the last players to enter the league straight out of high school. You remember he didn't even go to college. Now there's a requirement they have to go to at least 1 year of college before entering the NBA. He would, like Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett and those players, he went straight from high school to the NBA at the ripe age of 18 years old.
So his son's right in that.
His son's going to have to go to 1 year of college, and then he'll be able to go in the league. So
That would be interesting, and I think they would. There's a possibility they might force feed that a little bit just to get them together on the court. But it would be quite a thing to see.
his son's a talented player. I don't quite know if he's like see the floor consistently type talented yet. So they might push him out there on the floor, even though he's a bench player.
Yeah.
Just to get him on the floor with him. But
Right.
it'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Highest paid professional basketball player of all time now that this contract's been signed. And as you said, he'll be 40 when that contract is concluded, and what he'll
Okay.
do from there. I think one of the things that a lot of people with LeBron James, I'm one of those, because he was so young, when he first got into the league, he was doing some talking and doing some things that didn't compliment him very well. But
Yeah.
I believe he's really grown into a very, very genuine person. I think people kind of respect him for speaking out when he thinks it's time to do that, doing it in a way that maybe has some good to it. I think he's come a long way.
I think he's planning on building, so he's got a foundation and a school that he's built, and he fully funds this school from his own pocket. I think he's planning on building more schools in other locations.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, goes to he's a billionaire now. He's made some off the court deals, so he's a billionaire. So it's good to see him putting some money back into the community too. So
you bet. Well, I don't know if most people around here would believe this, but I think they might. A man was attacked by a coyote during a trail run recently. I've not heard of a coyote being aggressive.
towards humans, that's not as common.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the environment that they're in, but a gentleman was ultra marathon runner, was out on a 150-mile long trail in California when he heard footsteps behind him come up from behind him. He thought it was a dog at first, but it turned out to be a coyote. Said he spun around and the coyote attacked him.
Whoa.
He fought the coyote off with his poles that he was using, they do when they hike like that. But not before the coyote took a bite out of his face. He's okay,
gosh.
but the coyote attacks are becoming more common, and they think the reason is because humans are feeding them. And
Wondering why he's not giving them food.
the runner thinks the coyote was after his granola bar that he just started to eat.
Imagine being halfway through a 155-mile run or walk or hike, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you get attacked 75 miles into your trek.
Eating a granola bar.
And all you had with you was that little granola bar that you're probably really looking forward to eating, and sure enough, you open it up and you get attacked by a coyote.
Yes. What are the odds, really?
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh, but that eventually this guy's got to be able to just kind of have a chuckle at that.
Yeah, I didn't really know that. I guess coyotes, they'll eat anything, so I guess a granola bar probably smelled good to him. But
Yeah, this kind of makes me think. Had you come across that video a couple years ago of that mountain lion? That was filmed by that gentleman that was out running on a trail in the mountains. Talk about scary.
That would be scary.
Not a very happy mountain lion. And this guy walked backwards for about a mile, keeping his eyes on it. And eventually he threw a big rock at it, and that's what scared it off to get it to go away.
Just having hiked in the Rocky Mountains a couple of times, and the one time we did, won't get into that story, it's very long. But as it comes closer to evening when you're hiking, you start thinking about that very thing, bears and lions. And they have signs saying, make yourself bigger, make yourself look bigger, and they have kind of instructions for all of that.
Yeah. Well, the thing you got to remember in the forest is, whether you think it's happening or not, there's several things that always have their eyes on you.
Yeah, all the time.
Whether you see them or not, they see you.
You start feeling them after a while, too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we have to understand that wild animals are just that. And sometimes the way they act is how we affect them. In this case, some people must be feeding some coyotes along the trail or leaving things for them to eat. And they go, hey, that's a food source, and I'll do whatever I have to do to get it. So we can blame the animals, but it's usually not their fault.
Nope.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Got some Dan Seals lined up for you, and the Dave Davis Report and Farmers National coming up, so stick around.
Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow invites you to save all August long with these prices and more. 60-count B12 vitamins are buy one and get one at $6.69. 500-milligram vitamin C with rose hips, 250-count, are $6.99. One Daily Men's 50-plus and Women's 50-plus are your choice at $5.49. Choose from 3 strengths of melatonin. 10 milligram is $8.99, 5 milligram $6.99, and 3 milligram is $5.99. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
CNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. A judge in Florida considers media requests today to unseal the affidavit that led to the FBI's search at Mar-a-Lago. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
It is possible, and I underline possible, that there may be a compromise where some of the affidavit is public, but only, I think, if the Justice Department wants.
The head of the CDC says her agency messed up its response to the pandemic. Rochelle Walensky says her new mission is to regain the country's trust.
I think it's really important to understand the great work of this agency, but also to admit to areas where we needed to improve. We owe that to the American people.
U.S. and Taiwanese officials agree to begin trade negotiations. CBS's Linda Kenyon from Washington.
The announcement of trade talks between the U.S. and Taiwan comes at an already tense time in the region. China has been conducting heightened military drills in response to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's recent visit to Taiwan.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, a triple fatal crash in southeast Nebraska in Richardson County. 2 Lincoln residents and another Nebraskan were killed in a 2-car crash just north of the Kansas border around 3 p.m. Wednesday. Richardson County Sheriff's deputies were called to the scene on Highway 75, 2 miles north of the state line. First responders say 2 cars collided head-on and all 3 people died at the scene. Authorities say 82-year-old Dennis Palaska and 80-year-old Ramona Palaska of Lincoln were in one of the vehicles, and a 74-year-old from Omaha was in another car. Richardson County Sheriff's Office said they send their condolences to all the families involved. Authorities say the State Patrol, the Humboldt Fire and Rescue, and the Kansas Highway Patrol and the Sabetha Fire and Rescue all assisted in the accident.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NBA, where the LA Lakers signed star LeBron James to a 2-year, $97.1 million contract extension that begins after this upcoming season. It includes a player option for the 2024-25 season. LeBron will be 40 when the contract expires. NFL news, The Athletic is reporting that the Carolina Panthers are expected to name Baker Mayfield as their starting quarterback for the season opener against his old team, the Cleveland Browns. Mayfield was acquired in July and had been competing with Sam Darnold for the starting job. The LA Chargers and safety Derwin James agreed to terms in a 4-year extension worth around $76.5 million, $42 million guaranteed. It makes him the highest paid safety in the NFL. In baseball, the Mets beat the Braves 9-7. New York's lead atop the NL East is back up to 4.5 games on Atlanta. Guardians top the Tigers 8-4, while the Royals are shut out by the Twins 4-0. So Cleveland still has that 1-game lead on Minnesota for first in the AL Central. Dodgers beat the Brewers 2-1. Cardinals over the Rockies 5-3. St. Louis is now 3 up on Milwaukee for the NL Central's top spot.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some sunshine early on today, then a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms with our high nearing 86. Some showers possible early tonight, then staying clear with our low around 56. Mostly sunny throughout the day on Friday with our high of 81 and clear with a low around 54 Friday night. Staying sunny and cooler throughout the day on Saturday with our high of 79 and clear with a low around 53 Saturday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff forecaster Kara Foster.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-711-6818 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. 800-711-6818.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Oil keeps going up. Hedge against inflation and the downturn in the stock market. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help make an investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you are an SEC-accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call 1-800-278-7455. That's 1-800-278-7455.
Now, I don't claim to be an expert with oil wells, but that sounds more like a car that's running badly.
That's what I thought, yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested to know what that sound clip actually is.
Yeah, I would too. 61 degrees under a sunny sky, winds light out of the southwest. Barometric pressure is finally now moving downward at 30.09, humidity at 85%. High yesterday was 80 with an overnight low of 54. As a matter of fact, though, I might correct that because I think I noticed yesterday Jeremy had the currents at 80 at 5 o'clock, and he was absolutely correct. About 10 minutes later, it was 82.
Oh, still going up a little bit after 5.
I better change that because I remember I thought, oh, that's kind of funny. It went up that quick 2 degrees, but it can do that.
Yeah.
So we'll say 82. I think the airport had 81 yesterday for a high. So it's debatable. Somewhere either side of 80, right?
Yeah.
Nice day yesterday. Man, it was nice. 54 for an overnight low. Sunset today at 8:35. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:51. 29 hundredths precipitation measured so far in this month of August. Pretty dry out there, so kind of be careful again, if you would, please, with any burning materials or anything like that. It's pretty brittle again.
Yes.
So, all right. You've got some information there about a few things, but one of the things maybe before we get too far along, we want to remind people that next Tuesday is the Broken Bow Boosters fall kickoff, and that's going to be held at Kincaid's next Tuesday and set up the PA and the whole works, right?
Yeah, we'll have the PA up, and then we'll be broadcasting on 95.3 KBBN as well from Kincaid Brewing Company, 5:30 until 8:30. And this is going to be the Booster Club kickoff, and Brent is going to be having conversations with the fall sports teams for Broken Bow. He's going to be talking to the cheer squad as well. There will be burgers and hot dogs on site, and they always have lots of fun things. They're selling Booster Club items out there. Usually they auction off a couple of opportunities to go and sit in the suites in the press box at the football games. So go and check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. If you're wanting to listen from a distance and can't make it in person, tune in on KBBN and listen into that. We're going to have some of those folks from the Booster Club in tomorrow to talk a little bit about that event and what else they've got going on as a part of the Booster Club.
All right, very good. Folks, today is National Bad Poetry Day. So if you have the urge to write poetry and you're not too good at it, today's the day to do it. Always find this interesting that it says, here's a hint. It's really tough to rhyme with orange and purple. Nothing rhymes with those two words. So
yeah, that would be tough.
That would be tough. So don't use those words. Well, I guess you could if you wanted to be bad poetry.
Yeah.
Now, National Mail Order Catalog Day. Kind of something that's gone by the wayside to a major degree with all of the ordering online. But in history, the catalog was probably as effective as the internet was for ordering things.
Like JCPenney and stuff like that were like the main ones, right? And Macy's and stuff like that.
Montgomery Ward.
Yeah.
Those. In fact, Montgomery Ward, on this day in 1872, a guy in Chicago named Aaron Montgomery Ward printed the first mail order catalog and created a retail business empire.
I'd say so. That was probably quite the move back then.
Yeah. Sears came later.
Yep. Sears Roebuck is what they called it, right?
Exactly, yeah. So not so much of that going on as there used to be, but I still get fishing catalogs with all kinds of wish items in them, and you can sit there and thumb through them and go, I don't need that lure, but I'd sure like to buy it. I don't need that, but I'd sure like to buy it.
I think I'm subscribed to like 3 different car parts magazines. And I know the car in my garage needs about a quarter of the magazine, but I never buy any of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind
fun
of fun
to dream.
thumb. Yeah, kind of thumb through. That's what people used to do a lot of with catalogs, is kind of sit there and wish they... A lot of times during that period of time, wish they had the money to buy what was in the catalog. And you ordered dresses and everything from dresses to boats to tools or whatever was in the catalog. It was a big, thick thing. Yeah. Last but not least, it's National Ice Cream Pie Day.
Oh. Ice cream and pie, or Ice Cream Pie Day?
National Ice Cream Pie Day. You can put ice cream on a pie.
Oh, on a pie. Okay. Yeah, so ice cream and pie.
Yeah. Mostly, I think, apple pie gets a lot of times the ice cream on top of it.
Yes, that it does.
It's about the only way I could eat apple pie. I just don't care for apple pie.
Not an apple pie guy, huh?
No. Fruit pie is just something about it.
So you don't like cherry pies?
No. But I do like chocolate pies.
Just chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate. Like basically pudding pies. Butterscotch is good. Doesn't have stuff in it.
Hmm.
You like apple pie?
I'll eat, yeah, warm apple pie.
Oh, warm.
Yeah. There's a big difference.
Yeah,
I'll
there is.
snag up a warm apple pie slice a lot quicker than one that's been sitting out for a while.
Apple crisp, that's usually warm.
Yeah, yep.
It's pretty good. All right, we got a little John Fogerty for you. Deja vu all over again.
KCNI, KBBN Radio.
This Friday and Saturday, set your sights on the Secret Garden. Save 20% off anything yellow or orange, including all new inventory. Open 11:30 to 4:30 Friday and 8:30 to 4:30 on Saturday. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. The Secret Garden, located 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
Don't let falling behind on your spraying affect your yield. Now is the time to book fungicide and insecticide applications on corn and soybeans with Arrow Aviation. Not only can you fight disease, but you can improve plant health at the same time, increasing yields. Easily control insects like grasshoppers, rootworms, beetles, and western bean cutworms with the help of Arrow Aviation. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim with Arrow Aviation at 308-872-5113 to talk about your options.
Good soil starts with good seed. Arrow Seed is big on performance and believe that clean, quality seed simply performs better. Soil Builder cover crop mixes from Arrow Seed were developed to improve soil health and provide maximum benefits to the next planted crop. Cover crops planted after wheat, corn, or soybean harvest not only increase nitrogen supplies in your soil, but also reduce erosion, conserve soil moisture, reduce compaction, and suppress weeds. These benefits to your soil also benefit your bottom line. Learn more about Soil Builder cover crop mixes and how they can work for you by visiting arrowseed.com or your local Arrow Seed dealer.
8:17. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on a Thursday. I know a lot of us out there have bowled at one time or another. And if you liked it at all, a league will really get you involved because you'll be able to get out and do it. It's kind of like we talked yesterday. If you get in a golf league, then you golf at least once a week.
Yeah,
if
and
you don't,
better flow.
Yeah, if you don't, then you don't really get to do it as much because you don't have that I'm going to go on Tuesday thing. Then also, I think nowadays with bowling, which is a great idea, there's a lot of people who just sub in leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be there every week if you have a busy schedule. And they're having a meeting tonight, I think, at the bowling alley here in Broken Bow.
Yeah, 7 p.m., Pleasure Lanes in Broken Bow. It's for anyone interested in or that's already on a league at Pleasure Lanes for the upcoming season. If you're not familiar, the bowling alley's made some great updates to their facility, and they'd love to help generate some new bowlers to help them out. There are multiple opportunities for bowlers of all skill levels and ages. There are even substitute positions that don't require a weekly commitment. So again, tonight, 7 p.m., Pleasure Lanes in Broken Bow, East Highway 2, Broken Bow. Go and check it out. The Broken Bow Bowling Association would love to see you there. Grab a couple of friends that you think might be interested as well. It's a good way to meet people. Bowling is a great social sport. And you can get better at bowling because we all know at one point or another, if you got kids, you're going to be taking them to the bowling alley or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why not join a bowling league and have the ability to hone your skills so that your kids ooh and ah when you get tons of strikes?
Yeah, that's possible. Bowling is a little bit like golf because you see those 10 pins sitting down there and you say to yourself, I should be able to knock all those down.
Yeah, it's only a few feet down there.
It's not real difficult. They're all just standing there.
They're just waiting to be hit.
But if you don't hit the pocket, you don't get the strike. And it's a challenge, but it's also fun. And you can make it whatever you want it to be. If you have put together a team just for fun, they don't care.
Yeah.
If you want to try for the league championship, that's fine too. That's the thing about bowling. You can put it into perspective that fits your activities, your social needs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they'd love to have you there tonight. Just go find out about it.
Yeah.
Also, today is Thursday. That means it's going to be very, very wonderfully busy in the park today here in Broken Bow. Market on the Square.
Yes. And it's going to be many of the same vendors that you're familiar with, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. There's going to be some music going on as well. So if you want to go and check that out, the Platinum Pearls are going to be there from 5 until 7 p.m. tonight in the square. And Nebraska State Bank will also be hosting an ice cream social on the square from 5 until 6 p.m. So it sounds like that 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. range is a good time to head down there. Music in the square tonight. And up until then, go and get some lunch, 10 until 3 today. And, of course, I'm probably going to be some produce. Probably a good idea to show up close to the beginning for that, because I've been hearing that produce is going fast. So go down there to the square today for the third Thursday celebration from the Chamber. They also want to remind you to mark your calendars for the women's and men's steak fry. The women's steak fry is going to be September 12th, and the men's steak fry September 19th. If you'd like to call and pre-order some tickets, now is a really good time to get that accomplished.
There's no steaks that taste any better than the ones they have for the ladies and guys for the Chamber gathering in the summer. So if you really want to really enjoy a steak with the cheesy potatoes and so forth, that's kind of a tradition. And now the ladies mix it up a little bit more than that, I think. But
yeah, they do a couple of different things.
Yeah. And they can play some games or sit around and visit, whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great annual event. Always something going on here in Custer County, and this weekend is the Mid-Nebraska Rifle and Pistol Club putting on a gun show this weekend.
Yeah, the 20th and 21st. This is going to be at the One Box Convention Center in Broken Bow again. 80 tables expected of firearms, ammunition, and accessories. Now, all local, state, and federal firearm laws will be enforced, and they invite you to come and buy or just browse. It's $5 admission charge. Kids 12 and under are free when they walk through the door with an adult. They'll be open 9 until 6 Saturday and 9 until 3 on Sunday. And if you forget it's going on, I think there's a sign on every corner within a mile of Broken Bow. So when you're trying to remember which way you're pointed, when you see one of those signs or are reminded of that, that would be the 20th and 21st, Saturday and Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. each day at the One Box Convention Center on the west side of town.
As we mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the third Thursday, and that means there's going to be some sipping going on and some shopping at Rustic and Red in Cozad, Nebraska.
Yes, and I was kind of looking over a little bit of what's going on with Rustic and Red, and their Best of 22 sale is going on for their August sip and shop. So their Best of Homemade Decor, Mud Pie, Best of Candles, Capri Blue, Best of Purses, Myra Bags, Best of Jewelry, Spartina 449, and Best of Apparel, Liverpool, are all 22% off.
Nice.
So they're basically picking and choosing the best of all of the things throughout their store and marking them at 22% off. Again, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., the Sip and Shop. Sipping starts at 4 o'clock in celebration of their 5 nominations for Best of 2022. They chose those best items in their stores for their sales. That Best of 2022 award nomination is from the Lexington Clipper Herald.
Nice.
So they're kind of doing some celebrating of that, and would love to see you for their third Thursday. Again, if you want to vote for them, you can go to the Lexington Chamber page. It looks like they're nominated for several different categories. So go and check out the sales and register for their door prize all day long at Rustic and Redding, downtown Cozad.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Sounds like a lot of fun. Even though school is underway in most schoolrooms, there is still some job available openings in the Sargent Public School that we want you to know about this morning.
Yeah, they're looking for a para-educator or teacher aide position for this upcoming school year. Your specific assignment will be based on school and student needs, as well as the qualifications of the successful candidate. Additional duties are available but not required. Applications should be submitted at the school office. And if you have any questions, talk to Mr. Grint. All of this information is going to be on the employment page of sandhillsexpress.com for you to access conveniently as well. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, go and check it out. You need to be able to become certified as a para for their Title I programs. You'll be working with kindergarten students, possibly all the way up through high school age students. So give them a call and check it out.
All right, today on this Thursday, very busy day, blood drive in Myrna from noon until 6 p.m. at the community center. in Myrna, Nebraska. Also, the food bank of the Heartland Mobile Food Pantry is in Mason City at the First Baptist Church today from 3 until 4 p.m. Tomorrow on the Breakfast Show, we'll get some of the folks in from the food bank for the Heartland to tell us about the next arrival, which is scheduled for the 27th. So that will be discussed tomorrow. Also, a free car show here in Broken Bow on Saturday, and it's free all the way around. You don't have to pay anything to enter your car. You don't have to pay anything to go to the show. It's just for fun.
Yep, go and check it out. Registration starts at 9 a.m., and there's not really a specific end time. So if you want to show up right at 9 or you want to show up a little bit after that, just park your car and chat with a few folks and enjoy your time out there.
Sounds great. If you're wondering where Brent Apperson is today, I was told yesterday that he is taking time off to gather with legal counsel. He's negotiating a new contract here.
Oh, really?
For the Breakfast Show, and something about, harassment or harassment. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but he's with lawyers the next 2 days. So he won't be here tomorrow either. He'll be in consultation.
Okay.
So that's the update there.
You're going to reel me in as part of the defense on this?
I don't know anything about it.
Or can you handle it yourself?
Jeremy, I don't even know what his grievance is.
You better study up. So if he's taking vacation days to figure it out.
That was what I've heard. Anyway, what I'm told. The Clangs are here. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going? Is first day of school for you guys?
Yeah, we sent 2 off this morning.
That's a little tough, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's been a long summer with them in the house. So, the school can be a little break for parents.
It's true. It's true. But it does mean time is passing by quickly, doesn't it?
It is. They're getting older, and we have a junior in the house, so he's only got a couple more years with us before we boot him out.
Junior all the way down to...
Charlie's second grader.
She's a second grader now.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
What were we thinking?
I don't know.
We weren't.
That's something we'll discuss at another time.
Okay. Yeah.
Life, it all fits together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Steph, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I like your shirt. Looks good.
Thank you. Yes.
Yours is good too, James, that Kling Financial. That gets us on target for what we're going to be talking about today. Can I be just a general person here for a moment? What is going on with the stock market?
Oh, my goodness. Holy cow. You almost jumped out of your seat there, Dave. Wow, yeah. What is going on with the stock market?
Well, I'm still going with the idea that it has its peaks and valleys, and we'll stay in the valley for a while and mess around there for a while and then start getting, turned around towards the peaks.
Yeah.
Am I okay on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, history tells us that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's always happened. Could this be different? Sure, anything's possible, but highly unlikely. Have we seen the trough? Maybe. Maybe not. A lot of again, looking back at history, which is really one of the biggest telltale signs of what's going to happen, history tells us that recession isn't here yet. There's a lot of indicators showing, again, based on past recessions, we're not seeing near the amount of indicators today that we've seen other times when there's been recessions. There's a lot of a few things, yes, and that's what you hear most on the news.
Right.
But as far as the big picture, we still have a ways to go before all the signs are indicating a recession. So could we be coming out of a downturn and then coming back up to another bull market? Possibly. That could happen.
James, don't you think maybe just the set of circumstances where this all got where we're at this point, pandemic, money injected into the economy, then this weird job market we have going on right now where we really want to grow and go, but we don't have enough people to do the jobs. It's a different set of circumstances. If we are on the edge of a recession, it's so much different than previous times, I would think.
Yeah, and that's why there's a lot of uncertainty, because we are in different times. We've seen a lot of things in the last 3, 4, 5 years that haven't happened before. So it is tough to make those guesstimates, those predictions. And a lot of the economists are doing the best that they can, and we just have to wait and see. And that's all of life, right?
Yeah, that's it.
We just do the best we can. And when we sit down with clients, we make sure we get to know their situation, what their goals are, what they want to accomplish, and then we put in the best strategy based on that. And we have good strategies right now. That just because we don't know what's going to happen doesn't mean you can't have a good strategy moving forward. So we have those discussions. And the nice thing about us at Klang Financials, we have those tools in our tool belt to offer to our clients. And again, we've said this before, we don't take anything off the table. We lay everything out before our clients and know their situation and say, okay, here's your options. Which one do you feel is the best for you? And obviously we'll give a recommendation as well.
I've been told, and you might even have said it, I'm not sure, but when the market is down, is that not a good time to buy?
Typically,
yeah. But maybe we're not in typical times.
Yeah, well, so the high of I typically go off the S&P 500. It was around the 4,400 mark. So history again tells us that the market has a trend upwards. Over the last 100 years, it's always gone up. Temporary downturns, but it's always been up. So that tells me if 4,400 was the high at one point, eventually it'll meet that and exceed it. So anything below that, you're most likely going to earn back those returns. Now, that doesn't mean that it still may go down, but you did buy at a discount based on the highs. So eventually it's going to come back up when the next bull market hits. So,
okay. Now let's go to another subject, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Let's just say we have good fortune. We're investing some money. And we've done well. We've made a big potload of money. Okay, then let's ask Steph how we keep that money from disappearing towards the end of life.
Let's ask Steph.
That's a good question for Steph.
Because it only takes a little run of bad luck with health or being, to where you have to consider being in a care facility or something like that towards the end of life for a lot of that earned dollars to go away pretty quickly.
Right.
Is there anything we can do about that, Steph?
Well, there's several things you can do. You might be talking about an episode of maybe needing some long-term care. Yes. Or like you said, you might have a health problem that you never thought you'd ever have, and now you're coming into several thousands of dollars for a surgery or a heart condition or whatever it may be. That truly happens in life. We see those things all the time, unfortunately, in our office, but there are a lot of different avenues to go. People come in and they're nervous and they say, gosh, I'm not very healthy. I don't know how I'm going to do this if I need long-term care, and I don't want to lose my ranch or my bucket of money that I've saved all this time. And, the other day I had someone, they couldn't go through underwriting. Like they couldn't pass. We tried several different companies, and I said, just hang in there with me. We have other options. So one of the things that they had decided to do was put it in a fixed investment that put a rider on it that guaranteed they'd have double their money when a payout when they needed long-term care. But the caveat is only if you need long-term care. So if you want to exercise, just getting a payout, great. It may be $4,000, say, but if it's long-term care, it'll be $8,000 a month. Mm-hmm. So there are all kinds of different programs.
That particular one didn't require any underwriting.
No
either.
Underwriting for those sort of things. So we do have a lot of things. Like James likes to use tool belt. I don't know.
Toolbox, tool belt. Yeah.
Now, what would you use, Steph?
I don't know.
She runs out to the she shed.
The she shed.
Her she shed out.
I prefer my pink she shed, but I mean, no, but honestly, it's our job to educate ourselves on what if. You know, not everybody's situation's the same, and that's kind of the fun part of this, is that there are all kinds of things you can do. And people are nervous when they come in, but we're like, just, you know, we have things we can do. It's not anything to panic about, and we've seen about everything there is out there over the years. So just ask. And James and I don't charge you anything for coming in and asking. We're happy to see just about everybody that comes in the door.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I think you do so well is you avoid any lecturing, really opinions, because you're after the information from the people to try to put those different products and services, those tools, to work in the right place for the right person. Jeremy, for instance, probably really have a hard time getting his head around long-term care right now, but it might be something that would save him some money to consider now as to the point in life that Dave is at, right? So it changes with life situations. He has a new girl, a new daughter, Isabel, and so life changes. So I would imagine your customers will come in as their life changes, and maybe those tools change too, right?
They do. And, you know, even for just simple term life insurance, which is fairly inexpensive, some people hate the fact that they're putting money away and they don't really plan to die, you know, right away. I said, eventually you're going to die. But honestly, if you think about it, you know, we get a 20-year term, you're 30 years old, you're like, oh, I'm sure I'm going to live past 50, and they don't even want to pay for a simple, you know, maybe $10, $15, $20 premium. Not a big deal. They have return of premium policies. So it's not like, you know, if you hate the fact that you're paying $20 a month, well, pay $40 a month then, and then if you live till 50, you'll get all your premiums back. So whatever it is that you want, there's probably a product out there for it, and we can talk about it. Does it make sense cost-wise? Does this fit within what your needs are? I don't know, but we can throw you all kinds of ideas, and then it's your, you know, responsibility to go and decide what's best.
Don't say responsibility, Stephanie.
It's their decision.
Well, the biggest thing
we've
I
chatted before. I think
Yeah.
you're giving me that look.
I
Like,
have. And I do have people ask, and James is right, we do give recommendations, but sometimes it really is a personal decision. You know, there are a lot of options out there, and especially when I do Medicare, I have people look at me and say, well, Steph, are you saying this is the best one? And I'm going, nope.
No.
That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying I've given you the information, and now you decide which one fits into your lifestyle or your budget or whatever it may be.
And you also have several different companies that you can offer that
we do
might fit better than the other. Although I know there's one particular one that you feel more strongly about than others, or maybe just because you kind of started with it, James. Yeah.
Well, yeah, New York Life, they are the oldest, strongest, and biggest insurance company in the United States. However, we realize New York Life isn't the best fit for everybody, and there's other
or for everything.
Right. Yeah. We work with dozens of companies, and we feel that's important for our clients, and that's why we do it. Again, we don't take anything off the table. We lay everything out and make sure that our clients are number one. We are not beholden to any other company. We don't work for them. We work for our clients, period, end of story. So we want to make sure that they're happy and that they feel comfortable with working with us, and that they know that we're doing the right thing for them, and that's key. Every person I sit in front of, I think of as what would I do with my parents' situation or my brother's situation. And I try to treat them the same way. Or in my own situation, like long-term care, we got it when we're 40. So we believe in it, and we own it. In life insurance, we believe in it, we own it.
Yeah.
Investments, we do those things, and we don't only educate people on it, we know about it because we have it ourselves, and we know how they work, and we should pass that information on to our clients.
Thanks for covering that today. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you came in on with your...
Yes.
Go ahead.
The flamingo on the wall.
Well, yes.
I've been seeing a lot of those. This morning I was on a walk with my 2 dogs, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of flamingos in this person's yard.
There's a yard, over on the north side of Broken Bow, I think, has about 35 flamingos
I
in
think
their yard.
it looks very nice. I thought, wow, that is a lot of flamingos. They're going to be...
It's some kind of prank. Yeah. I don't know...
That's kind of like
it,
why I giggled as I walked by. I'm like, someone was doing something.
I'm sure there's money involved in all this somewhere.
This comes from the Callaway, the Seven Valleys Historical Society, the museum over in Callaway.
Oh, very
that
nice.
was given to us, I think when we were over there for the walk that they had for the fire.
The fireman's walk, yeah.
But there is a, we've had them before out in our yard, and they just show up.
I see.
So
And
there's
it's just
some of that
flocking
going on
and-
too. Yeah.
And there's a variety. It's not just big ones. They got little ones out there roaming around.
Well, this is some of the things that I've run into with Brent, and since he's not here, I can talk about it.
Sure.
But I wanted to put some ducks in his yard that I had, some beautiful ducks, both the mallard hen and the drake with the little ducks behind, and he'll have nothing to do with it. Do you guys, by the way, do you carry any liability insurance? Somebody's going to sue you?
No, but there are several great businesses in town that can help you out, Dave. That's the one thing about Broken Bow. We're very fortunate to have a lot of diversity and being able to help people in need.
we should be. I think we have some liability insurance.
I might need it.
We might need more, though.
Yeah.
Got a feeling this 2 days off for Brent is not just a...
he takes days off at his own risk.
He realizes
if he
that.
chooses to do that.
I think he would tell you that he comes to work here at risk.
Yeah, he's...
Well, thanks, guys, for coming in. Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you guys busy with the kids and everything, and it's a busy time.
Busy
isn't
day,
it?
first day of school.
And selling our house. Did you see that?
Yeah, we just wondered about
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're not moving away.
Okay.
Everybody is so hopeful. They're like,
We're
yes.
not
No.
moving away.
We
just
were
saying.
worried, but boy, what a beautiful house. I mean, you
It
may as
has
well-
been so much fun, that house, and it is nice. We did a lot of things that were probably more in tune to us and our likes, but it's
really classy.
modern and it's fun. So I hope someone lovely gets it. It's going to be a nice place for someone.
Well, I was talking with Jeremy. We were talking about it. We said, how can we ask them why they're selling the house?
You just let us bring it
we're
up.
in the process of moving out to an acreage, and James is finally appeasing my complaining for years and years of wanting to be. I mean, I grew up on a ranch north of Taylor, so the country is kind of where I want to be, and he grew up in town in North
city
Platte,
boy.
and so I'm going to get him a donkey, though. At least one.
I want to
Yeah.
see him ride it.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, his
gotta get
legs
a
are long
llama.
enough. If I
Get a
get a
llama.
miniature, he can kind of toddle
I'm going to
himself.
embrace
Yeah.
it. You gotta-
Well, the house is on the market now, right?
Yes, it is.
It's beautiful. It
Thanks.
always was a classy house.
Yeah.
Mrs. Spencer
Yes.
sold it to you. The Klebb family had it years
Yes.
ago. It was built maybe, in the 60s?
Yes.
61, yeah.
Yeah,
61.
I love the year it was built, and
Yeah.
so we kind of fixed it up to the mid-century modern sort of look, and that's been fun.
It looks great. Sorry to see you leave the neighborhood, but if you're going out to the country, we understand.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, because the neighborhood is really nice. We have kids in the neighborhood, and everybody is waving at you and giving you a hard time. So it's like family there. So it'll be hard, but it'll be good.
Well, if I run into like a tractor to move snow, I'll let you know. You'll
Yeah.
need one of those.
Please do.
We'll need one of those.
Jeremy.
Yeah, there's all kinds of new purchases that you have to be making.
right?
Do you know about this, Jeremy?
Oh, yes. Yes.
We might need some advice.
And he just lives on the edge of town, but
Yeah.
he still has a
Okay.
driveway to get out of,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, directional is all very important. You got to think about which direction the snow's going to blow from.
Yeah.
And if there's a new tree line you need to put put it in now. It'll help you down the line.
It's kind of like that health care insurance you're talking about. Do it now, right?
Do it now. Plant the trees. It's going to take 25 years for the trees to be big enough to do anything.
25 years.
Whoa.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you for coming out. It's good to see you guys. By the way, what's your phone number?
Oh, yeah. Our office number is 872-6810, 6810.
6810. Lots of information online that they can look into before they come and see you.
Yeah, claimfinancial.com.
Yep. And your office right across the street from Nebraska State Bank.
Yes.
Okay, right down in the business.
940 South D Street.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll take a time out with these words.
It is no secret that cybersecurity and keeping your personal information safe and secure is very important. Scammers never stop and will do whatever they can to get your information. Some examples of what to be looking out for are spoofed phone calls, suspicious emails or texts, computer pop-ups, requests for urgent wire transfers or gift card purchases. If you are suspicious of fraud or a scam, always call your bank about the situation. Bruning Bank wants you to stay safe and be diligent about keeping your information secure. Our staff is trained to deal with any type of situation and is happy to help or answer any questions you may have. Bruning Bank. Build, grow, thrive. Member FDIC.
For those 62 years of age and for those that are handicapped or disabled regardless of their age, the Grand Generation Manor in Callaway has affordable housing available. An equal housing opportunity provider and employer. They're located at 200 South Grand Avenue in Callaway. The Grand Generation Manor.
Back to school time means savings at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow, so head through their door on the west side of the square. Inside, you'll find 20% off savings on all apparel. That includes Husker items, Under Armour, shorts, spirit wear, and more. There's a great selection to grab, and with 20% off apparel, it's a great time to do it as the kids head back to the classroom. Geared for Sports, for the athletes and the fans.
It is 8:47, and Ellen is here. We're going to get her in the studio. Ellen Mortensen, the church lady, we used to call her when we first had her on the air. And then she actually, as many of you know, worked here at KCNI, KBBN. Also, of course, for the Custer County Chief, and now writes for the paper in Gothenburg. I believe she is the managing editor there. We'll find out all the details when she comes in.
All right.
And, of course, she has the gathering every year here in Broken Bow at the One Box Convention Center, gathering ladies from all over for a Christian gathering. And now she's here to promote this show this weekend in Gothenburg, which starts Saturday afternoon, I believe.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon, that's the concert day. And then on Sunday, they kind of wrap things up with a community worship service. So it's a 2-day event. It's for the whole family, and it's free. So it starts with the concerts on Saturday at 4:45 and some great artists, which maybe we'll be able to play some music of later on. So we'll learn all about it.
Well, we could get Christy in here. She's all over this. She is very familiar with these Christian artists and is excited about the show. And I think a lot of people know more about these folks than we do, so we may have to recruit Christy, but I think Ellen will be able to tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And there's 5 artists. So it's going to be a moving and shaking afternoon and into the evening on Saturday. So
all right, we'll take a break. We'll get Ellen in here and talk about it. That's coming up next.
You've been to them, the bars, taverns, and grills that are exactly like the next. Not at Henry's in Callaway. They offer a bar experience unlike any other. Try one of Henry's fresh, handcrafted drinks or kick back for a beer with friends. If it's an appetite you're bringing with your thirst, look to their amazing homemade pizzas to fill you up. Available to dine in or carry out. Call 308-836-4484. A slice of lime and a good time await you at Henry's Bar in Callaway, the oasis in the middle of Nebraska.
The aisles are full of great prices at Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow. Smithfield all-natural bone-in country-style pork ribs are $2.49 a pound, and USDA choice T-bone steaks are $9.99 a pound. For dessert, Keebler or Mother's cookies are 2 for $6. Also 2 for $6 are Our Family ice cream squares. For your end-of-summer grill-out, Hunt's ketchup is 2 for $3. Our Family 100% juices are 2 for $6, and boxes of Cheez-Its are $1.99. Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
You know it's back to school time when we hear cheers and groans and everything in between. But you'll only be happy when you see the back to school savings we have at Beaubouterie. 25% off all in-stock athletic shoes, 20% off socks, and a whopping 50% off summer sandals and flip-flops. We look forward to seeing you at Beaubouterie, east side of the square in Broken Bow.
And action! It's Dave and Brent getting the action started on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
10 minutes before the hour, right on time. Ellen Mortensen is here. Ellen, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, Dave.
It's good to hear your voice on the radio again.
Yeah.
Sounds just right. Sounds like you belong here. Well, let's talk a little bit about you for a moment, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Catch people up. I know that your paper in Gothenburg now also is with Callaway Community. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Mike Wendorf, everybody around here knows who Mike Wendorf is. He had the Callaway Courier for a long, long time. I'm thinking close to 40 years he
Probably,
had that newspaper, and he's been in newspaper for a really, really long time. He was ready to retire and get out of it, and our owners of Syndicate Publishing there in Gothenburg, a couple local guys, like to see community newspapers stay alive, so they purchased the Callaway paper. We also now have a paper in Cozad, and we purchased the paper in Minden. Same kind of deal. That owner and publisher was ready to retire and looking for somebody to keep the paper going, so we have that one as well.
That's a pretty neat story because those papers could go away, or some huge corporation could buy them and maybe snuff them out later. I mean, there's all sorts of things that could have happened besides that. To have those papers continue to serve their communities, it's a cool thing.
Yeah. And these are two guys that had no newspaper background at all. They just started a newspaper because they wanted to be able to provide that service for the community of Gothenburg. And so that is what has led us into these other communities as well. And it's fun to be part of that. Of course, I had connections in Callaway already from my time here. So that helped. And so I do most of the writing and stuff in Callaway and reporting over there. And so I've got to reconnect with some of those Custer County folks over there in Callaway, which has been really fun.
and still doing some writing for Gothenburg as well.
And Cozad.
Yeah. So you have quite a bit of media reach. So let's use that.
You might say so.
You're on the radio today, so let's use that to invite people to this exciting show you got coming up.
Yes. For those who aren't familiar with it, and I'm surprised that there are still people who aren't familiar with it, it's called Living Out Loud. It is a free outdoor Christian music festival that's held every year in Gothenburg. This is actually our 10th anniversary this year, so that's kind of exciting. We have it at beautiful Lake Helen there in Gothenburg. We outgrew the first site that we used to have it at because we really do bring in a lot of people. 15 to 20,000 is what we usually have.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Last year we have a drone with some crowd estimator software that flies over and it takes pictures of the groups of people and then can kind of estimate the size of your crowd. Last year we had Skillet as our headliner. Skillet's been around a long time. They're a pretty hard rock, heavy metal type band, and they do a lot of secular tours as well. They're not just known as a Christian band. So they brought in a whole different demographic than we normally get. We knew they were going to bring in a lot of people. Our crowd estimator last year had us at about 23,000 people.
Wow.
It's huge, a huge event. People aren't aware of how big it is. Right here in central Nebraska, we have tons of food vendors. This year we've got, I think, 23 food vendors, and then we have 17 or 18 tents that set up that are also like civic organizations and things like that. And even some of those groups provide food as well, some of the school groups and things like that. We'll do walking tacos and those sorts of things. So there's lots of different food options. Bring your lawn chairs. It's just a super, super fun time.
I feel, Jeremy, like I might be living under a rock. I didn't know that this concert was drawing those kinds of numbers.
A lot of people don't.
But
A lot of
that
people
big.
don't realize that it's that big. Yeah, they hear Christian Music Festival, and I'm really happy to be here today because I don't want to just promote this event as a Christian music festival. The truth that we have all kinds of artists. I was, in fact, just looking up before I came in this morning, kind of trying to familiarize myself a little bit again with some of these artists that we have coming. One of the guys that's coming, Jonathan Traylor, is a very up-and-coming artist. He has a little bit of a hip-hop type vibe with his music. Apollo LTD is very pop rock type music. So the bottom line is, if you like music and you like to be outside and you like to eat and you like free, this is an event for you. It's very family oriented. You bring your lawn chairs, the kids run around and play. There's shade trees if people like to be in the shade. We're going to have a beautiful day on Saturday.
You are.
So that helps. It's this Saturday, by the way.
Yes, the 20th.
Yeah.
Did I say something wrong earlier?
No,
Okay.
no. I just hadn't mentioned the date yet.
I'm always paranoid because these guys have to straighten me out all the time because time is not relevant to me anymore, evidently. But the 20th is this Saturday. Talk a little bit, and if you don't mind, I'd like you to stay after the news break, and we'll talk a little longer. The park itself, this is the one on the north side of Gothenburg, right?
Yeah, just as you're coming into town on Highway 47 from Callaway.
They've really did a lot of work there. I mean, that's a bigger lake than it used to be, and then they have all the different amenities around it. They really improved the park. So I suppose that's one of the reasons you can get 20,000 people in there.
Yeah. There's a huge grassy area. And the nice thing about having it at an area like that, some people like to set their chairs up close and be right in front of the stage. Some people don't like the crowds and have it be that loud, and they like to sit back a ways. So in that venue, it accommodates wherever you like to sit, however you like to be. If you want to be in the middle of the crowd, if you want to be on the outer fringe of the crowd,
I suppose you can even do a little fishing while you're there.
You probably could. Could.
The fact that it's free kind of is unusual. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. We are 100% funded by private donations, and it is not a small budget. I mean, you've done music festivals, so you know it's not cheap to put on a show like this. And they're Christian artists, but they still have to make a living. They still have families to feed and buses to run and band members to pay, and so it's expensive. Our budget every year is right around $120,000.
My goodness.
And the Lord provides, and we raise that every year to be able to pay that.
Is that just from, how's the money raised? Is it from the concessions and some other things throughout the year, or how does that work?
It's totally by sponsorship. Sponsors and private donations. Yeah, we have a lot of sponsors. We have different levels of sponsorship, but it's people who just want to partner to help keep this event free, help keep it coming to Gothenburg, keep providing that. People who just believe in investing in an event like that that's going to present a positive message in today's world. I mean, we need just positive, uplifting music. Just sit and have a day where you're not hearing anything negative. You know, you're not turning on the news and hearing about negative things, and it's just a very positive event, and so people are willing to invest in that kind of thing.
So does it start in the mid-afternoon?
It starts at 4:45 on Saturday, and it will go probably till 10:30 or so. The last artist is Zach Williams, and he's set to take the stage, I think, around 9 o'clock on Saturday night. And then on Sunday morning, we actually come back and have a community worship service. And one of the bands always stays to provide the worship service for us. This year it's going to be Jonathan Traylor. I'm super excited about that. And our special speaker is Lincoln Murdoch. and I'll be happy to talk about him too whenever.
All right, let's do that after the news.
Sure.
All right, we'll do that, and then we'll also give you a little sample of music right after the news, which is coming up next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Rudy Giuliani is back in New York after a trip to Atlanta, where he testified for hours before a special grand jury investigating possible attempts to interfere with Georgia's 2020 election results.
District Attorney said at the end, Mr. Giuliani has satisfied his obligation under the subpoena. So I was very happy that I satisfied my obligation.
A new read on how many people are looking for work. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick.
Despite some recent signs of softening in the job market, new claims for unemployment benefits declined over the week to 250,000. That's down 2,000 from the previous week's level, which was revised lower.
The head of the CDC promises changes after admitting to a botched pandemic response. CBS News contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
Acknowledging the weaknesses, acknowledging that not everything went right, really does pave the way for people at the CDC as well as more broadly to change direction, to correct course.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
Sports Illustrated just reported that the Big Ten Conference's new media rights agreement is done, and it's a whopper. It's a 7-year, $7 billion plus deal with Fox, CBS, and NBC. The deal takes effect in 2023. In the NFL, The Athletic reports that the Carolina Panthers are expected to name Baker Mayfield their starting quarterback over Sam Darnold. The Los Angeles Chargers signed star safety Derwin James to a 4-year, $76 million extension, making him the highest-paid safety in all of NFL history. Staying in Los Angeles and staying with the last name James, LeBron James agreed to a 2-year, $97 million extension with the Los Angeles Lakers that also has a player option for the 2024-25 season.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some sunshine early on today, then a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms with our high nearing 86. Some showers possible early tonight, then staying clear with our low around 56. Mostly sunny throughout the day on Friday with our high of 81 and clear with a low around 54 Friday night. Staying sunny and cooler throughout the day on Saturday with our high of 79 and clear with a low around 53 Saturday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff forecaster Kara Foster.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
9:04, 66 degrees outside. Ellen Mortensen is our guest. The church lady is here.
Yay!
You used to come in for your church here.
I did. Gosh, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
And we called you the church lady in reference to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Yes.
Next thing we know, you're working here. It's all good history. So tell us a little bit more about whatever you want to highlight here. I'm kind of like sat back here. I don't know about Jeremy. I'm going 20,000 people
a lot
around.
Of information.
Man, that's amazing. The way this is set up is really unique but very effective. You have a board and volunteers. You get sponsors.
Lots of volunteers.
Yeah.
Obviously, it takes lots of volunteers the day of. I'm glad you mentioned that because we do need more volunteers. We always need more volunteers. You know, we have there are so many little details that go into planning an event like this. You have to figure out logistically where's the best place to put the porta potties so people that are standing in line waiting to use the restroom aren't blocking the vision of the stage, and where are we going to place the vendors, and who's going to pick up the trash cans, who's going to keep the toilet paper supplied to the porta potties.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a ton of different little details. So we need volunteers to help with all of those things, merchandise, tents, and all of those different things.
Yeah, merchandise tents are always interesting because, well, we really shouldn't put those together, so we need to have those separated. And there's all sorts of things that go into that. And then I mentioned it off the air, but having the liability insurance in place, and then having sound and lights all set up, probably almost a year in advance, I would imagine.
Yeah. We've had the same company, Sure Sound, comes and sets up our stage and our sound equipment and lighting, and they'll roll in about 4:00 on Friday and start setting up the stage. We have volunteers that come and put the fence up around to keep people out from the backstage area. Buses with bands start rolling in Friday night. By Saturday, we have a crew in the back that feeds all of the bands and their crews when they come in. We feed them breakfast, we feed them lunch, we feed them supper. Zach Williams and his crew is going to play golf while they're in Gothenburg. So I made arrangements with Wild Horse Golf Club to take them out to the golf course so they can play golf. So we try to really take good care of the bands, but man, there's a lot that goes into planning that event.
Yeah, and then
a lot.
Of course, the other part of it, which having some experience, as you mentioned, with a concert, is the cleanup afterwards, which you don't have the enthusiasm for volunteerism after the event is over. So I'm sure you count on some people to help you clean up, too.
We do, and we've gotten really, really lucky. There are some local youth groups that come and help clean up afterwards, and the Gothenburg FFA kids come and help set up the stage. A lot of times they'll come back on Sunday and help tear things down. And we've got FFA kids that are there that help load on equipment sometimes. And so it really is just a community effort. And we want volunteers, obviously, not just from Gothenburg. I mean, anybody who wants to help is more than welcome. We're also asking this year, we ran into a little bit of problem with our food vendors and the lines being so long, and we finally figured out that it was because of credit cards and the machines getting bogged down. You know, we got 20,000 people all in one location, and the internet service and, cell phone service gets a little sketchy.
It does.
So that was holding up our line. So we're really encouraging people to bring cash this year for the vendors. That will help move those lines through a little bit quicker. So that will be very helpful too. We have a website, livinoutloud.org, Livin, Livin, outloud.org. All the information is on there. You can get signed up there to be a volunteer. Anything you want to know, you can find out on that website. Anybody who is interested in helping partner with us, maybe donating, helping sponsor. They can't come, but they love the idea of what we're doing. You can certainly do that on there as well. I mean, bottom line, we wouldn't be able to do this without the generous support of our sponsors and donors.
Now, if you're out there and they're considering being a sponsor, they get signage the day of the show, or do they even care?
Some don't care.
Yeah.
We do have banners. I mean, of course, there's different levels of sponsorship. We do have banners. You had to be in a little bit ahead of time in order to get a banner and to get your name in the program book. And I think we could even get your name on the screen if you wanted to help sponsor today. But so we kind of hit the ground running. We take a month or so off after the event just to kind of catch our breath and regroup. But then we kind of hit the ground running again starting for next year. I mean, we have the bands, usually have the bands lined up well before the first of the year for next year's event.
You really have to, yeah. So talk about the entertainment that you have lined up. I know you mentioned a couple. I have to ask you a silly question because I just was wondering if Ann Wilson is formerly with Heart.
I've been asked that before. This is Ann Wilson with an E. That Ann Wilson does not have an E. And anyone who knows me very well at all knows I am a huge Heart fan. They are my favorite group. I named my daughter after Ann Wilson, as a matter of fact, because she's my all-time favorite. No, this is a different Ann Wilson. This Ann Wilson is pretty new to the music scene. She's very young and very, very good. She had a huge hit last year with My Jesus. Very, very big song. She's also got Sunday Sermons. I think she's only got one album out so far, but like every song on that album is now being played on Christian radio stations. So she's just kind of getting started. She's one, I'm going to mention the name of one of our board members. I hate to mention names and leave somebody out, but Kobe Rickardson is the guy who books our bands. And he is really, really good at being able to spot artists that are up and coming, that are going to be big and they're not quite there yet. So we can get them in before their rates go way up. And Ann Wilson was one of those. He came to us a couple years ago, Kobe, and said, I think she's going to be really big. I think we're going to want to get her next year. So we booked her, had her last year. Before she left, we had her booked again for this year. And she actually announced from the stage that she was coming back next year. And she really is good at reaching the young people. The young people love her. Preteens and teens really relate to Ann Wilson. And so she's fantastic. So we're super excited to have her back.
You mentioned Zach Williams.
Yeah.
What genre of music does he?
Zach Williams has been around for a long time. We actually had him at Living Out Loud in 2018. And when he came at that point in time, he was the second band on. Now he's the headliner. So that's how much he's grown between 2018 and 2022. He's had many hits. Fear is a Liar, Chain Breaker. Those are probably two of his ones that a lot of people are familiar with. He's got a new one out called Heart of God. That's his brand new song. And it is really on fire. It's, I think, number 4 or something on the Christian charts right now. So Zach Williams has been around a long time. He's going to put on a really good show. Just a great performer. Jonathan Traylor, very high energy. Apollo LTD, very high energy. They're a pop rock duo from Nashville, Tennessee, and they're also a pretty new group. They haven't been around a long time, but they're going to put on a really high energy, good show. Jonathan Traylor does a lot of dancing, like I mentioned, kind of hip hoppy type vibe. So he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
And Ben Fuller?
Ben Fuller is one of those Ann Wilsons. Ben Fuller is one that at the time we locked him in was kind of just getting started. And now he's just really taken off. I'm going to have to look at my notes to remember what his song, Who I Am. Who I Am is, and I think he just released his album like last year. He's just new. And Who I Am is his new single that is doing really, really well. Ben Fuller has a really cool, deep, raspy kind of voice that so we have a lot of different styles of music, which is really fun.
All right, so this is a 2-day show. Starts at 4:45 on Saturday, this Saturday, August 20th. And then you have the service on Sunday, along with guest speaker and music as well.
Yes, and the guest speaker, Lincoln Murdoch. Lincoln Murdoch is a 3-time national, I had it written down here, endurance champion, triathlon and duathlon. Which I'm not familiar with. Familiar with triathlon. I don't know anything about duathlon. But he's a 3-time national champion anyway. So he has spent most of his life doing endurance racing. And so he talks a lot about the parallels between endurance racing and the endurance race of life. And he's just a really phenomenal speaker. So he'll be sharing a short message on Saturday night as well, right before Zach Williams comes on. And then he'll be back Sunday morning to share during our community church service, which gets started at 10:45 on Sunday morning.
Now, Jeremy has me set up here if I don't mess it up. I think I can go to this and then Spotify. Is that right?
Things happen.
They do.
Yeah.
Can't be helped. All right. Well, thanks to Ellen for coming in. It's so good to see her again. And you can tell in her voice she was very excited about the concert coming up. And again, I felt like I was under a rock on this one. I knew they had the concert. I just didn't realize they were getting 20,000 people to show up to Living Out Loud. So there's no charge for it. You can drop by for as long as you like and enjoy the park and the music and the people.
Yep, 5 artists going to be performing on Saturday, 4:45, and it'll go into the evening still. So stay as long as you like. I think weather-wise, Saturday's looking like it's going to be pretty darn nice.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. So hopefully that will hold that forecast, and they'll have a good day. Sounds like they have lots of good food to eat and space, whether you want to be right up front or sit on the edge. It's all up to you.
Yeah.
Are you a Luke Bryan fan on the country? Luke Bryan fan on the countryside?
Not so much. I kind of tend to like the late 80s and 90s country.
Yeah, I'm with you there. A lot of people love him, and he just did a video that featured real working people, and it's getting rave reviews.
Huh.
He had real-life farmers, real-life firefighters, police, barkeeps, military members, and truckers in his video. And he also shared a reel on Facebook of him thanking the people who he featured in the video, and the Metro Nashville Police Department, who loaned out some of their officers for the video. And so that really went over really, really big. Probably didn't need that PR because he's very, very popular, but if he was doing it genuinely to include some regular people in his video, hey, why not?
It's kind of the side of music that we forget about every now and then, is the music video side of it. A lot of albums these days will have 5 or 6 songs that feature a music video with them, and a lot of work goes into that.
Yeah, a bunch. Now, we don't have all the details, but it was interesting. Mike Evans was, because we were interested in this because Mike was talking about it yesterday. He went to a concert, Blackberry Smoke opened, and between the acts, then the final act, a radio station came out and did intros and so forth.
Mhm.
And it was a hot country radio station down, and we don't need to mention any names, but thought it was interesting, the story, because, I've always wondered about this, what artists really think sometimes when they have different radio stations and media introducing them.
Yeah.
And in this case, this artist just basically told him, you don't play any of my music, get off my stage.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. It was this down in Lincoln a weekend ago, and
goodness,
the artist is kind of a outlaw country artist, and this was a hot country station, and they got up and was doing their thing, and he just walked out and said, you don't even play my music, get the blank off my stage.
Not high enough on the chart for you, and that's kind of the side of outlaw country, and that kind of red dirt thing is it's you can discover anything with the internet today, but finding those stations that kind of play that hidden music that sounds like country music used to sound, kind of few and far in between. So I'm sure he runs into that more often than not.
It sounds like that particular artist, who again I will not mention, probably would do that on any stage. He was the headliner, so he just has it his way. He knew that station was a hot country and they weren't going to play his stuff, but they were there, promoting themselves, and how radio people do. KBB, so-and-so, and we're here, and he must have stopped them in their tracks.
Yikes.
I guess the morning show would have been real interesting the next day for that particular radio station.
Yeah.
Would have been a little bit different. Here's the Youngbloods on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Already decided to voluntarily sign on with Summit Carbon Solutions? They get the facts. Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline would be less than 2% of the length of pipeline already underground in Nebraska today. And unlike the 28,000 miles of pipeline that came before it, Summit's pipeline is the first that directly supports agriculture. Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline will dramatically reduce the carbon footprint of ethanol production, enhancing the long-term viability of Nebraska's agriculture and ethanol industries. California, America's largest ethanol consuming state, and Canada, America's biggest ethanol export partner, have said they'll pay more for ethanol with carbon capture technology. Farmers have always met the demands of consumers, and it's clear that carbon capture is the future of the ethanol industry. To learn more, visit summitcarbonsolutions.com.
It is 9:30. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN Radio, Broken Bow, Nebraska. You can also watch the show on Facebook Live.
And YouTube.
And you can also listen to the show on either KCNI1280.com or KBBN.com and just catch the audio no matter where you're at. I don't know how many of you folks do this, but when I get away and I have a car where I can plug my phone in to the speaker system in the car, I listen to KBBN when we are on our way to Chicago. You know, you can listen to those hometown stations anywhere you go, or just listen through your phone and earbuds or whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Alexa, she'll light up. And other gadgets such as the Rooski are available. A lot of people have those in their kitchen, their living rooms, and they just say our call letters and up we come.
Have them in their cars these days, too.
They do?
Yeah. Yep, they're integrated into the car stereo.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That'd be in a newer car?
I think so.
Yeah. It's amazing what's going to be coming in cars. I wonder with this new push on electric cars. Now, I don't know whether they've got this solved or not, but the broadcast industry was a little concerned because AM radio does not work very well in an electric car.
Too much interference.
Yeah, you know, just like AM has trouble with fluorescent lights, you can imagine what they would have trouble with in an electric car generating that kind of electricity.
Yeah, the whole bottom of the car is a battery.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't tend to help very much.
So probably the solution there would be, you know, on the screen on an electric car, you can have your favorites and you can just push our app, and listen to it wirelessly online, not the old conventional way. So there's a solution, but there's no reason you can't listen to your hometown locally owned radio station anymore. Almost anywhere you have a cell signal, you've got us.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought it would be that way, Jeremy. It was always, when you're a radio guy, it was transmitters and towers. That's all
when you're around here.
Yeah, but that's all changed. Talk a little bit about your plans without too much detail. I know you're planning on providing some video coverage of sporting events this year, and I know that Brenda's also got the schedule set up for everybody. Going to be doing some video along with some radio broadcasts.
Yeah, the video side of things is going to kind of rotate a little bit more around the volleyball side of things. Gyms and buildings that have internet connectivity in them lend themselves a little bit better to being able to bring those video streams to you. So during the regular season, that's what we're going to do. In the postseason for football, if we have some teams that make it into the postseason, we might bring some more video streams, as we have in the past couple of years with the Sandhill-Sedford football team being so successful. If we can find a way to get connections at those football fields, whether that be with the help of the school or doing it ourselves, that's something we're open to in the postseason again this year. But volleyball for now going to be kind of the focus of the video side of things, and we're going to try to do that for most every volleyball game. So triangulars and things like that all across the area. That's what we're going to tackle. And that full schedule is up on all our social media pages and under the sports tab on sandhillsexpress.com. So if you want to print it out and put it on your fridge, or look those up and write them on your calendar so that you know you can watch those games, that's available to you. And we put our radio call on top of the video broadcast and try to give you a nice polished look at things. So, yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And we hashed out who's going to call what this season. And new guy, Grant, is going to try some volleyball. He's going to go and do some football games with us as well. Should be fun.
Yeah, I know he's excited about it. He talked about it the other day, and he wants to learn how to be a part of the team there. And he's a bright guy. It won't take him too long. One of the other things I go back to, folks say, well, hey, we'd really like you to have the football video. Jeremy's point is very, very, very clear. Number one, you don't always have connectivity at a football field. And number two, there's hardly ever enough room for everybody to be in a press box. And, they have their own video equipment. They have their own video equipment to record the game for studying the film afterwards or the game afterwards. And then you get a couple of radio stations and announcers and coaches up there working back and forth to the sideline. And it gets pretty full pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things that just makes, football games in central Nebraska feel special. It wouldn't truly be a local football game if you weren't crammed shoulder to shoulder with the PA announcer up in a booth or sitting on a flatbed trailer, or we've even broadcasted from the top of our car before. So that's kind of what it's all about. Doesn't lend itself as well to a video camera, but later on in the season, I do know there are some charges that start to take effect, whether that be like postseason football games. As I understand it, if the schools want to video broadcast those, they're on the hook for a charge from the NSAA.
True.
And we're happy to partner with those schools and pay those charges and take care of the video side, so they don't have to worry about it, and they don't have to send a check away to broadcast their own student athletes on the field. So that might be something that we check out again this year and partner with some schools to do.
All right. Sounds good. And by the way, on your way to those football and volleyball games, you can stop by your local Subway and pick up some sandwiches. We're going to be talking about that with Matt right after this.
Whether you work in the field or in the corner office, you know information is power. That's why Helena is putting data to work on farms across the country with Extractor. Extractor is an exclusive tissue analysis program used to monitor plant health in season. Using advanced technology, Extractor identifies nutrient deficiencies and offers custom recommendations to keep your crop growing at its best. Make better agronomic decisions this season with Extractor. To learn more, find your local Helena retailer at helenaagra.com.
For a farmer, every day is different, and every season tells its own story. Make this the year you do it your way. Coron Metra is a foliar fertilizer that lets you decide when the time is right for nutrition. Metra gives you flexibility, it gives your tank efficiency, and Metra gives your crop more than just nitrogen. Coron Metra, the next evolution in crop nutrition. Always read and follow label instructions and check registration before use.
9:37. Matt is here from Subway in Broken Bow and other Subway locations, along with other things going on. Matt, how you been?
I'm doing good now.
Good. Good to hear that. And you're on the run and on the road.
Yeah.
Which is not new for you.
I haven't been cleared to work, but I'm still working.
You're not cleared to work, but you're still working. I know you just admitted that on the radio.
Yeah, well, my doctor hopefully doesn't listen to this radio station.
Good chance he probably doesn't, so you're probably okay.
You just say out of the 5 doctors I see, yeah. Hopefully none of them.
I don't know, 1 out of 5 is all you need to get you in trouble. So you're up helping train new management, correct?
Right. I got a new manager at Subway here. We're getting him all trained up. It's going to take a little bit of time, but eventually he'll get it.
Oh, yeah. And I should know, who is your new manager?
Nick Potter.
Nick Potter, that's right. Yeah. That's a familiar name, and I think he'll do fine. He'll do good.
One of these days I'm going to get him into here, and then he can start learning to do this.
All right.
That's what he said when I was in getting a sandwich. He's like, "Oh, Matt hasn't asked me to talk on the radio yet, but I know it's coming."
It's coming, Nick.
That's what I told him. I was like, "You better believe it's coming."
Yeah. It's coming.
That's part of it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I've experienced over the years, and I think you'd probably agree, sometimes when you have the job of training somebody, you remind yourself of things that you may have forgotten or, kind of get by you. So it's kind of a healthy thing in a way.
Right. It's refreshing my brain on a lot of stuff on how to fix problems.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to it all being perfect all the time, and now it's like, okay, I got to start over.
It's not perfect anymore.
It's not perfect, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
He's doing a really good job. He's got a staff. We're still hiring. We're looking for more help. Hopefully after this week, we will be open 7 days a week again.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
And I'm even going to look at maybe even opening longer.
Okay, nice.
So.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment coming from what we come through the pandemic and everything and what the situation has been in the food industry business. There's still struggles out there, as you know, and I know you'd love to continue to hire some good help.
Yeah, we're always looking for that employee to fit our mold, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even before the pandemic, you always encourage people, hey, if you're thinking about part-time, full-time, drop by and get an application. We'll get you on file in case something comes up.
Right. We've actually looked at it, and we're starting part-time people at $11 an hour and full-time people at $12 an hour. And with their tips and everything and their employee meal, they end up averaging about $17 to $18 an hour.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
In this part of the world, that's real good.
Yeah. To make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pizzas.
And pizzas. And salads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wraps.
Cookies.
I had a pizza for the first time earlier this week.
Yeah.
A lady in front of me ordered one, and I just said, just do exactly what you did for her and just make mine that way. It did double pepperoni and a little bit of extra cheese on the top to melt the pepperoni back into the pizza. It was very, very good. I had not had a pizza to this point. I have a hard time going away from my tuna sandwich, but I was thinking pizza was good to go too. And it was good.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had one. Also, like the breakfast meals that you offer. They're talk about reasonably priced meal. Your breakfast is awesome.
Right. I love our breakfast. I wish they'd get back the sausage patty because I miss having the mega breakfast.
Yeah.
Sausage, steak, and bacon. I mean, who could go wrong there?
Yeah.
But yeah. Just got the bacon and the steak right now. Hopefully someday the sausage will be back.
The wraps, when you first introduced those, they were kind of an experiment, maybe a temporary thing, and there was just one. And now you have all kinds of different wraps that are listed on the wall.
Right. Any sandwich can be made into a wrap. We do only have the flour tortillas now. They did away with the tomato basil and the spinach. I was really hoping the habanero would have came out before they discontinued those, but oh well.
Yeah. They're good, though. And I think the difference with the wraps is the texture it creates.
Right.
You have the original sandwiches are great, with the different breads. But that wrap there's a different texture when you bite into the ingredients inside. It's really kind of a nice change.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I change up all the time, but most of my everything is just meat. But
Boy, no surprise there, man.
I went to a get-together last night, and these people were like, oh, here's some fresh veggies. I'm like, where's the meat?
Now, for a Subway guy, that you're probably one of the, I don't know what the odds would be of a Subway guy being mostly meat, because you have all these wonderful peppers and all the different things to throw on there. But you just prefer the meat.
I'm a meat guy.
He's a meat man.
Yeah. I don't mind. I like potatoes, corn, green beans, cooked vegetables, more or less, asparagus. But your fresh veggies is not my cup of tea.
Which is just crazy.
I'm like, my food eats those fresh veggies.
Well, fortunately, a lot of other people like a little crunch to their vegetables when they, have them on a sandwich, and that freshness is what Subway's all about.
Yeah, I do like tomatoes with salt and pepper on them, but other than that, like lettuce, I can get all the nutrition out of a glass of water that I can get out of a handful of lettuce.
Well, go with spinach then, Matt.
Right, which I've been told that, but I take a multivitamin.
You might be a little stubborn. I'm thinking maybe.
I'm really stubborn. I'm actually supposed to try to cut meat out of my diet, and it's becoming really difficult.
Well, again, we're hoping the 5 doctors you're seeing are not listening.
Right, yeah. I'm supposed to do more chicken and fish and stuff.
More white meats, yeah.
No red meat. I'm like, yeah, my steak, I cook it 5 minutes on one side, flip it in 5 minutes, and throw it on the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a rebel. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right. So, anything you wanted to highlight today that we haven't asked you about, because we kind of get off on little side roads?
Yeah, come on in. Try one of the new numbered sandwiches, 1 through 12. They're going over really well.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
And, of course, use the convenient technology tools that you've provided, that you've added on over the years. I know you can still call in if you want to. You can stop in if you want to, but you can order ahead real easy with the app and so forth.
The app saves a lot of time. If you have like a 15-minute lunch, you can place your order, come in, grab it, and go back.
Plus, there's some bonuses by using the app that you don't get anywhere else.
Right. You get reward points. For every $1 you spend, you get 4 tokens. You get 200 tokens, you get $2 off. The app recognizes what you spend your money on and gives you coupons through it.
Okay. All right. You know, I have to ask, have you been fishing?
No, but I got a new boat.
But you got a new boat. You got to go fishing.
I haven't even got a fishing license this year. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues, so I've kind of figured I'll just buy my park permit this year and just donate to Nebraska parks.
Mm-hmm.
Next year I'll get a fishing license.
There you go.
Yeah.
What type of boat?
I got a pontoon.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, all electric.
All electric pontoon.
Yeah, it's actually a paddle boat, or you can engage a motor and it'll run around the lake with batteries.
Troll around.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about gas?
No, it's got solar panels on it.
So it recharges?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that sometime.
Well, you can come on down. We'll go fishing at Elwood Reservoir.
You're on.
Yeah.
It's
I got it really cheap, but yeah. It's a really nice pontoon, fits 8 people.
Well, great to fish off of, too. Yeah.
All electric, so I was like, I don't have to put gas in it. I don't have to clean the motor.
Does it have
to change the oil?
Don't have to change the oil. Don't have to.
Does it have a plug-in so you can have a little electricity off of it?
For to charge it?
Well, maybe you just have a little cooler you could plug in there, put your sandwiches in.
Oh, I've got a good cooler that throw a little bit of ice in.
Okay.
You're good for 12 hours.
Okay, you don't need electricity.
No.
Mini fridge on board.
Yeah.
Right. It's got a stereo. It's pretty loud, and yeah.
No, don't turn it up too much. You don't want to chase the fish away.
It's actually been proven that you can make as much noise above the water, and it won't scare the fish.
Really?
That's what I was
It's when you make the noise below the water that's the problem, right?
Yep. So no jumping in when the lines are in the
Dave's
water.
like, all those times that I've just been like
sitting there quietly.
telling people to be quiet when I'm out fishing.
or there's some people across the way on another boat talking real loud, and you can hear them. You want to say, be quiet, you're going to scare the fish.
Right.
I guess they're not, right?
Right. Now, when you put your feet in the water and splash around, yeah, that's going to scare the fish away.
Okay, all right. Well, you won't scare them much with the electric pontoon.
No, because it's really quiet. Yeah.
Well, let me know. We'll go.
Right on.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Here's Santana on The Breakfast Show.